Cora said, her smile as warm as the sunlight that would sometimes break through the clouds. He glanced up, his eyes twinkling with an energy that belied his age. "Ah, Nurse Cora. Just the angel I needed. I've been meaning to call my daughter, but I can't seem to find the courage. She worries too much as it is." Cora knew that sweet Marlene, his daughter, was often left to navigate the complications of family dynamics from hundreds of miles away. Lately, with mounting medical expenses, Arthur's voice had carried a hint of uncertainty that tugged at her heartstrings. She lingered for a moment, perusing the flicker of worry etched on his face. "What's on your mind, Mr. Jennings? You can tell me." His smile faltered for just a moment, revealing a vulnerability she rarely saw. "Well, Cora, it's my medication. The bill came in, and I thought about rationing my doses. I can't keep relying on my daughter to help me. She's got her own family after all." Cora felt her heart constrict. It wasn't just the medicine, it was the feeling of helplessness that grew like a weed in the hearts of those who faced financial constraints. And as she glanced at his frail frame, it stirred something deep within her. "Don't worry, Mr. Jennings," she said, a resolve bubbling to the surface. "Let me help you." In her mind, the phrase echoed like a promise, even if she wasn't entirely sure how she could do so. Once her shift ended, Cora found herself at the local pharmacy, staring at Arthur's medication costs illuminating her phone screen, like an unwelcome challenge. She hesitated, mentally recounting her dwindling paycheck and the few essentials she had left to spare. But then she thought of Arthur, the way he lit up the room with his stories, the way he reminded her of her own grandfather, long past but never forgotten. What was a few extra dollars compared to the desperation of someone who needed help? With a steely determination, she handed over her credit card and paid for his medicine, reassuring the pharmacist that it would be fine, even if her heart raced with each passing second. As she left, a weight of relief flooded through her, chased away only by the echo of her own financial worries lingering just beneath the surface. Little did Cora know, her seemingly small act of kindness would ripple outward in ways she could not yet fathom. Weeks passed, and gradually, her routine settled back into the familiar rhythm of checking on Arthur and the countless other patients who graced her days. With each visit, she noticed how much brighter Arthur seemed, how the spring had returned to his step. They often talked not just of medication and health, but of love, loss, and legacy. Each conversation fortified the bond between nurse and patient. It was in that spirit that the hospital organized its annual appreciation dinner. And as Cora prepared to go, she couldn't shake the feeling that something beautiful was waiting to unfold. As she sat at her table, surrounded by colleagues and friends, Arthur walked into the room with a smile that felt like sunshine piercing through gray clouds. But what took her breath away was the small gathering of familiar faces behind him: Marlene and her husband, along with a group of local friends. Cora, Arthur's voice resonated, buoying her heart as he gestured towards her. "I want to introduce you to my family. It's because of you that I've been able to feel like myself again these past months." The room quieted as he continued, "This remarkable lady helped me when times were tough, and now we want to thank her." Marlene threaded her way through the crowd, her eyes bright with appreciation, as she enveloped Cora in a heartfelt hug, warmth and gratitude spilling over into the atmosphere. Cora could feel all the hard work she had put into her profession acknowledged in that moment. It felt surreal, almost too good to be true. "Mom told me everything you did. You went out of your way to help Dad, and you've brought so much joy back into his life," Marlene said, her voice thick with emotion. "We'd like to do something special for you." Cora's heart raced as she fumbled for words. A flurry of disbelief and joy swept through her. But it wasn't until Marlene stepped back and handed her an envelope that the realization dawned on her. They had organized a small fund to cover her next few months' rent. Stunned, Cora clutched the envelope as tears streamed down her cheeks. This was more than gratitude, it was a testament to the profound impact that kindness, whether given or received, could have. In that moment, surrounded by Arthur's family and the warm glow of recognition, Cora understood that the ripples of her compassion extended far beyond a single act. They created waves that transformed lives, and sometimes, those ripples returned to touch her own heart in a way she never expected. As Cora wiped her tears away, she could hardly grasp the enormity of the moment. All those weeks spent worrying about bills and expenses seemed to dissolve like mist in the sunlight. It wasn't merely the financial assistance that moved her, it was the realization that her small act of kindness had woven a web of connections and support, creating a community that extended beyond herself. As the evening unfolded, laughter and warmth filled the room, overshadowing the heaviness of their individual struggles. Cora joined in conversations, each dialogue deepening her bond with Arthur's family. Stories of resilience flowed freely, and for the first time in a long while, she felt truly seen. Later that week, Cora sat down to review her finances, still carrying the envelope with Marlene's generous gift. Those savings would relieve at least a few months' anxiety, granting her the precious gift of time. And it wasn't just about her. Arthur's improved spirits and vitality warmed her heart. They had both received treasures in different forms, one through friendship, and the other through a unique act of compassion. After moving past the initial shock, Cora began to contemplate how she could pay it forward, how she could extend the kindness that had flourished from her connection with Arthur and his family. The seed of an idea took root. Inspired by the appreciation dinner, she envisioned a small community project, something that could help those in similar situations, aiding individuals who faced financial barriers to their health or personal growth. It could be a resource center for patients, offering everything from wellness workshops to financial counseling, where stories of resilience could intertwine, fostering connections and lifting spirits. With renewed determination, she rallied local caregivers and volunteers, explaining her vision during a community meeting at the hospital. Nervousness fluttered in her stomach, but supported by Arthur's encouraging nods and Marlene's determined expression, she shared her concept of a grassroots initiative called Pathways to Wellness. Responses varied. Some individuals were skeptical, while others were enthusiastic. But among them was James, a local entrepreneur who had once faced his own financial hardships. He raised his hand, a spark of recognition gleaming in his eyes. "I understand the need for this," he said. "If you're looking for funding, I could help kickstart the project and maybe even partner with some local businesses to keep it running." Feeling the weight of hope lift her spirit, Cora spent the next few weeks planning the project's foundations, each meeting sparking new ideas, stories, and sharing. She rallied more support than she could have imagined, with local businesses offering discounts on supplies or services, leading to an expanding network of support. James, with his entrepreneurial instincts, helped secure a small grant from the Community Development Fund, more than sufficient to bring her vision to life. The support and enthusiasm from the community surged, leading them to host a fundraising gala 6 weeks after the inception of Pathways to Wellness. With every passing day, Cora's excitement grew, driven by her foundational ideal of fostering hope and assistance for those burdened by financial strain. The night of the gala arrived, echoing with vibrant chatter and laughter. The venue glowed with twinkling lights, echoing the warmth of the mission behind the event. Cora, dressed elegantly yet comfortably, was buoyed by the spirit of the evening, the culmination of kindness that had rippled from her simple act of giving medicine to Arthur. Throughout the night, Cora mingled with guests. Grown closer than ever, Arthur and Marlene stood by her side, chatting with community members about the potential impact of their fundraiser. People spoke eagerly about their stories of striving against the odds, recommitting themselves to the vision of the project. Cora felt the collective energy pulsing around her as pledge donations began to pour in. After enjoying a lovely dinner, James stepped up to the microphone, an envelope in hand. The crowd hushed, anticipation hanging in the air like a peaceful promise. As many of you know, Cora's vision is not just about health, it's about changing the narrative for those struggling to find footing in life due to financial woes. It's about offering resources and guidance, he began. Tonight, I'm thrilled to donate personally a check of $5,000 so that this incredible initiative can become a reality. Gasps filled the room as Cora's heart soared. Her eyes met Arthur's, who beamed with pride, his eyes twinkling as they shared a moment of realization they were bound together by the threads of kindness, courage, and hope. The continued outpouring of donations throughout the evening added to the magical tension, forging connections that had long been hidden beneath the surface of their small-town lives. The total contributions that night exceeded $20,000, overwhelming Cora with gratitude, excitement, and purpose. As the gala wrapped up, Cora stood before the crowd, the glow of the moment filling her heart. "Thank you for sharing your time and resources. We'll build this together," she said, feeling the warmth of the collective spirit wrap around her like a comforting embrace. "Each of you plays a vital role in this journey, and our first step forward is to ensure that there are no barriers when it comes to health and wellness for those who need it most." Days turned into weeks as Cora and the team got to work, transforming their vision into reality, fast-tracking the opening of pathways to wellness. The initiative flowered, offering workshops, financial literacy sessions, and free preventative health screenings. Over time, they gathered sponsors and partnerships from various corporations, doubling their initial funding with each connection they made. As opening day dawned, Cora stood outside the newly branded center, her heart racing with anticipation. The building welcomed its clients with open doors. Arthur stood beside her, proud tears glistening in his eyes, Marlene and her family swarming in to help direct traffic with their unmatched enthusiasm. She had not only inspired a community but had become a beacon of hope herself, a reminder that kindness had the power to change lives. News of the center spread like wildfire throughout town, and people who once felt isolated began to arrive in droves. One morning, a woman named Lisa, a single mom struggling to make ends meet, shared her story during a workshop about financial planning. Cora heard the vulnerability in Lisa's voice and felt a pang in her heart, knowing all too well the fear that can cloud decisions when circumstances become bleak. Lisa learned to create a budget during the workshop, a lifeline in her chaotic life. By the end of the program, she expressed how grateful she was for the resources and community support. With renewed determination, she not only improved her finances but found the courage to pursue her passion for baking, ultimately starting a home-based business specializing in custom cakes. As weeks turned into months, Lisa returned to the center, bursting with excitement. "Cora, I can't believe it. My little bakery is taking off. I just got a contract to cater for a local wedding." Her cheeks glowed with pride and disbelief in her own journey. Cora beamed back, the joy swelling inside her like a warm embrace. "That's amazing, Lisa. You deserve this." With her newfound confidence, Lisa eventually paid the favor forward. She collaborated with Pathways to Wellness to provide pastries for their fundraising events, bringing sweet treats to those who donated in support of others. Each donation made would further support patients in need, ensuring that their wellness center's mission would continue to flourish, giving rise to an endless cycle of kindness in the community. Filigrees of hope and inspiration threaded through the townsfolk, spinning a web of transformation where kindness became a catalyst for financial change and personal growth. Cora felt empowered to nurture this growing movement, always reminded of her initial act of kindness that ignited an everlasting flame of compassion. And as she poured her heart and soul into Pathways to Wellness, she saw how imperative it was to keep the ripple effects flowing, knowing there would always be someone waiting for a chance to change their narrative just as her own had so beautifully transformed through the threads of community, kindness, and hope. As weeks turned into months, Cora's vision for Pathways to Wellness blossomed into a vibrant sanctuary in their small town. Each day, people from all walks of life began streaming through the doors, seeking support and community, eager to participate in workshops, health screenings, and financial guidance sessions. The energy was palpable, filled with stories, some heartwarming, some heartbreaking, but all brimming with resilience. Cora found herself in the heart of the action as the leader of this growing movement. She became more than just a nurse, she was a guiding force, connecting individuals to resources and weaving their disparate stories into a collective tapestry of hope. Arthur continued to be a pillar of strength at the center, often sharing his own powerful journey to inspire others, and Marlene became the backbone, organizing events that highlighted local talents and further fostered community spirit. One sunny afternoon, while preparing for the center's first annual wellness fair, an event designed to showcase local health services and foster participation, Cora entered a room brimming with laughter and excitement. Volunteers decorated tables with bright, hand-painted signs that read, "Wellness begins here." Flowers and fruits adorned each stand, symbolizing the renewal of spirit each success story represented. Cora paused to marvel at the transformation happening around her. This was a manifestation of her act of kindness towards Arthur, where one simple gift grew roots and branches, fostering a nurturing environment for countless others. It brought a smile to her face, a warm glow of fulfillment blooming within her chest. As people arrived for the fair, anticipation electrified the air. The space thrummed with energy, each workshop filled up quickly, and local musicians serenaded attendees in the background. The sun streamed in through large windows, illuminating hopeful faces engaged in conversation and support. Amid the bustle, Cora spotted Lisa, her once shy protégé from the bakery. Lisa had taken the plunge into entrepreneurship, and her booth was adorned with gorgeous pastries, their delightful scents wafting through the air. "Isn't it amazing?" Cora said, marveling at the display. "Look at how far you've come in such a short time." With a proud smile, Lisa grinned back, flour dusting her apron. "It's all thanks to you, Cora. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Now, I finally feel like I belong to something bigger." The pair stood shoulder to shoulder, looking over the crowd, each person representing a story ignited by the same flicker of kindness that had spearheaded the wellness fair. Cora's heart swelled with gratitude as she remembered the first moment she had helped Arthur, a reflection of how a single act could breathe life into many others. As the day drew to a close, attendees shared heartfelt testimonials, recounting the ways pathways to wellness had shifted their lives. Some spoke of newfound financial literacy that helped them pay off debts, while others discussed lifestyle changes that led to improved health. Each voice echoed the theme of hope, resilience, and the importance of community. When Cora stepped up to the makeshift stage, a simple wooden platform adorned with colorful banners, she paused, taking in the faces that had become like family. She felt a swell of tears gather but blinked them away, summoning her resolve. "Thank you all for being here today and for embracing this vision," she began, her voice steady with purpose. "Every single one of you plays an essential role in this thriving community we've built together. Our stories may differ, but we share a common thread: the belief that we can uplift one another through kindness and understanding. I started with a small act helping a friend who was in need, and it has brought us all here." After a moment of tension-filled silence, the crowd erupted in applause. Cora's heart raced, overwhelmed by the collective energy emanating from the room. "I believe every act of kindness has the power to create ripples," she continued. "Tonight, we amplify those ripples wider and deeper. If we can revolutionize just one life today, imagine what we can achieve together in the months to come." The energy crescendoed as volunteers and attendees rallied around her, arms linking in solidarity. In that moment, she understood that this community was not just about health or wellness, it symbolized empowerment. It demonstrated that genuine connections could generate transformative change. As the fair concluded, Cora walked home beneath a starlit sky, her heart brimming with fulfillment. She took a moment to reflect on her journey. The trials of the past were eclipsed by the joys of the present. She felt renewed strength coursing through her veins, empowered by the connections formed and the lives changed. Weeks rolled into months, and adventures became the norm as Cora integrated pathways into the community's fabric. They ventured to implement a mentorship program, matching individuals struggling to regain their footing with those empowered to share their journeys like Lisa and Arthur. The newfound friendships flourished, leading to a strong support network that continued to combat the barriers of financial despair. Winter came and blanketed the town in a soft layer of snow, casting the world in gentle whites and grays. Cora called upon the community to come together to support families in need during the holiday season. Toy drives, food distributions, and fundraising events blossomed, infusing gifts of hope into homes that might have otherwise felt empty. At the culmination of the drive, Cora found herself standing beside a gleaming, decorated tree that had been erected in the center of their town square. Surrounded by twinkling lights and laughter, she spotted children's faces aglow with joy as Santa handed out stockings filled with treats. Cora called a familiar voice. It was Arthur, now brimming with vitality, wearing a festive sweater that caught the eye.